Okay, hello, internet land. Today I want to talk to you about screwing up. So here I am in Boston. I live in the United States, and we have a affinity for rules. We like regulations, we like timelines, we like things to be ordered, we like things to go the way that they say that they're going to go. And that's great. That's fabulous. But the rest of the world doesn't necessarily work that way. And I visited these other countries. They seem to be doing okay. Everybody's still alive and it's fully functional. And yet it's not as rigid as the way that it is in the United States. Which is can be both infuriating and also mind-blowing. Like, how is this functional? How do people live like this? And yet there can even be a sense of ease, play, enjoyment, spontaneity that comes when we start to be more flexible, both in our timelines, even potentially in school, in education, at work, and then obviously in our daily and our personal lives. Recently, I've explored this topic to great depth, and I haven't even really explored it on purpose. I'm sure that I've been exploring it on purpose subconsciously, but by which I mean, like, my subconscious patterning and habits are coming out for me to confront and to face and to see more clearly how I am so rigid and so incapable of flexibility that might actually serve me, and an openness that might actually benefit my life. And I guess if I had listened up earlier on, it wouldn't have smacked me in the face like it has. But I've literally been forced to become more flexible in the last 2 months. And it really is, it's a surrender and a letting go of the control that I would so like to have. And what's begun happening now, because it has been 2 months and I have softened a bit, is that I'm actually finding that it's enjoyable. Now, I don't screw up on purpose, like to piss other people off or to ruin their timelines or agendas or anything like that. It's just like happening. And I'm trying so hard for it not to happen, but it's almost like the harder that I try for that not to happen, the more that I create that happening. And I've recently found enjoyment in it, some satisfaction. I see these people getting so upset, and initially that discomfort or anger, whatever it is, frustration, I would feel so intimately and so personally, and I would just take it upon myself. I'm wrong. I screwed up. I'm terrible. But as it continued happening, because it continued happening, I realized some big things. Number one thing that I realized is that the world didn't stop. Despite the fact that this fear within my body and this like overwhelming grip of wrongness told me that probably the world had just shattered. Nope. Still going by just fine. And number two was I didn't die. Despite the fact that this fear within my body was basically telling me, like, you will die. That's how strong it felt. And since I've literally loosened or lubricated or opened up that story that was so controlling over my life, I've actually found pleasure in screwing up, coloring outside the lines. Oh, I made another mistake. Oops, my bad. Moving on. And obviously, I'm in relationship to other people, so I can say that, and yet I can be with other people who react very differently from that. And so now the levity that I feel, it's not just levity with myself, but I'm starting to have levity with other people as well. Okay, I see their reaction. I fully understand why they're having that, because I really tried so hard to not make that fuck up. And yet, It happened. What else can I say? What can I do? So there's something amazingly liberating about making mistakes, giving yourself permission to make mistakes, to be flexible, to be messy, to live, to be alive. There's so much life that happens there, so much vibrancy that happens. So if you found that you're making a lot of mistakes recently, kudos to you. It means that you're taking risks and you're learning. And you're probably teaching other people as well, even though they might not be overjoyed at the lessons that you're teaching them. And, if you haven't been making any mistakes recently, make one. Dip your toe in the water. Obviously, I'm not saying be cruel to any person or overtly smash their dreams or their plans, but create such a big plan for yourself that you can't help but fail. And then learn and see how that feels. Thanks, guys. Much love.